Brinkmanship is a negotiation strategy in which one party demands that the other agrees to their conditions or loses the deal. It's about pushing someone to the edge to see what they do next. Brinkmanship is a high-risk strategy. It can be extremely harmful to goodwill and it can easily backfire. So why do it? Some people use brinkmanship to win a better deal or to secure more favourable terms. Others want to demonstrate strength or dominance. The best defence against brinkmanship is to avoid putting yourself in a vulnerable position in the first place. Avoid last-minute negotiations, for example, and don't rely on a single supplier, especially for a product or service that you can't do without. Sometimes, no matter how secure you feel, people can still use brinkmanship against you. So let's look at 7 ways you can guard against it. First, avoid overcommitting yourself. For example, if you're waiting to be paid for your goods or services, don't agree to provide any more until the first invoice has been paid. Also, avoid sharing your deadlines with clients. If they know you're against the clock, they could use it as leverage to get a better deal. If a client wants to change the terms of a deal that you've already agreed, be upfront about how this will affect the amount you'll charge. This will make it harder for them to use brinkmanship or trigger a late renegotiation. Approach negotiations confidently. Your organisation might be relying on this deal, but the client doesn't need to know that. And if you're offering something that a client can't find anywhere else, you're in a strong negotiating position, so use it. Creating a false deal breaker is another tactic you can use, but it's risky. To do this, flag up an issue that you say you won't budge on. Later, if brinkmanship is used against you, you can relent on your earlier demand, but only if the other party takes a step back on one of theirs. A logical negotiator looks at a deal from a purely financial standpoint. They keep compromising as long as there is a net gain to be won on the deal. This, however, makes them vulnerable to brinkmanship. In contrast, an emotional negotiator is convinced that their position is reasonable and will defend it vigorously. As a result, the other party will struggle to get them to accept less favourable terms. But presenting yourself as an emotional negotiator can be risky. Your position may be interpreted as misleading and deceptive, particularly if it doesn't reflect your true feelings. This could end up damaging your reputation and your relationship with the client. So be sure that your bosses are comfortable with these tactics before using them.